Alrighty guys, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. It's just a casual quick video to kind of pre-qualify anybody who's interested in the BROJO Ambassador role, because it's a role you can get excited about, but it actually comes with a lot of responsibility, and it's a role where we need to rely and trust the person. It's something that they need to get something out of. You know, you have to feel like you enjoy doing it and it's rewarding for you. All of those things have to line up for this to work. So this video is just to give you a sense of what you're getting yourself into and whether you should keep going or if now's the time to kind of stop. It's not right for you. Now there's a course, a training course on being an ambassador that covers all the details. So any questions you have around the details of the role will probably be answered in the course, but this is just to give you the gist. First and foremost, let me just tell you what the role is and what it's not. The ambassador is what it sounds like. It's somebody who represents BROJO, and specifically somebody who does that by running events that BROJO members and people who are interested in BROJO can join. Now the events range anything from going for a run together through to movies and entertainment and through to our favorite, which is sitting down somewhere and having a self-development based discussion. But we have a lot of freedom of choice for ambassadors. Anything you feel strong in or you particularly like, you can set up as an event to either entertain or educate BROJO members. So that's essentially what you are, as an event organizer and facilitator and somewhat of a conversation leader. Okay, you're not expected to run the show like an entertainer, but it's your job to try and elicit a conversation for those more conversation-based events. What you're not is you're not a coach, and you're not even really the leader of the group. You are the facilitator and the organizer. So you don't have to solve anyone's problems. You're not expected to provide all the answers. In fact, you're encouraged to just participate in the discussion as any other member would. Your job is you're going to be given some tools to facilitate that discussion, to encourage it, and to guide it in the right direction, but it's not your job to solve the problems. And this is actually, I mean, on one hand, this is helpful in that you can relieve yourself of the burden of being like the best or being the leader or anything like that. You're just another member of the group who happens to organize things. You don't have to be better in any way than anybody else there. In fact, that really goes against BROJO principles to even think of yourself as better or worse. And on the other hand, we really ask that you don't do that. You do not be the coach. You know, there is a specific BROJO coach rule. There's a role. There's a whole lot of training that goes into that. And before we can say somebody represents BROJO as a coach and their ideas and their teachings are something that we condone, someone has to go through that training. So if you haven't gone through that training, we ask that you not coach or teach, that you actually just lead the conversation or allow the conversation to move forward without being the mentor. In terms of expectations of your character, this is a role it's going to be demanding if you have high social anxiety or if you're really sort of shy and quiet. This is really a role not necessarily for extroverts, but for people who are comfortable running a group, for people who are comfortable being center of attention, for people who are comfortable getting a conversation going and keeping it going. You should have a basic comfort of having a group conversation with people you're not familiar with and be okay with that before you consider this role. If you find talking to strangers or running a conversation to be really intimidating, maybe this isn't the right time for you to do this role. Or if you just find it a little bit intimidating, this could be a good training and development tool for you. But if it's so scary that you're going to have like a panic attack before it, this is not the role for you. You should be excited about running the conversation. You should be excited about meeting strangers. You should be excited about encouraging people to talk about deep and dark and wonderful things. Okay, if you don't feel excitement, if you feel fear and terror in response to that, this is not the role for you. If you're looking forward to leading, you know, to role modeling, to becoming part of the BROJO family, then this is probably the role for you. So expect, it's not charisma we're looking for exactly, but confidence. Enough social confidence to run a group. Okay. One of the key things that an ambassador absolutely has to be is somewhat aligned with the BROJO philosophy. So that's something you need to get familiar with. And you need to decide before you go any further whether or not you're cool with it. If you're not, that's fine, but we can't, one of the things that we are most worried about is like other men's groups out there that they will splinter off into these different factions as we sort of let go of control and let other people do their thing, and that eventually it will lose its focus and purpose and meaning and values. The 6 core Brojo values, you have to believe in them to be a leader within Brojo, okay? And it doesn't mean that you have to follow us exactly as we do things. In fact, we'd ask that you be yourself and you play to your strengths and you share your own beliefs as you see fit. But if you don't agree with things like honesty and respect and courage, this is not the place for you to be a leader, all right? If you're really hard out into like being a pickup artist or being manipulative, this is probably not the place for you. An ambassador wouldn't be a good role for you. If you're strongly into like men going their own way and that hardcore like dark side of red pill philosophy where, fuck woman, misogyny, anything like that, Brojo's really against that stuff. Okay, Brojo is all about science and reason and compassion and acceptance and honesty and truth. And if anything you believe in, like if you're really into like hardcore conspiracy theories or anything like that, it's not that you're wrong, it's just you're not a great fit for Brojo. We're about science and reason and logic, love and compassion for other humans. If you're on board with that general concept, it doesn't matter if you don't believe everything we believe, if you follow different philosophers, if you have different religious beliefs, that's all fine, as long as none of that conflicts with the overall message from Brojo of those 6 core values: curiosity, courage, honesty, acceptance, respect, and responsibility. Cool. We can't have victims running these groups. If you're responsible for your life, you believe in finding the honest truth, you're compassionate for other human beings and want to help them, then you're probably a good fit. If you feel really against any of the things I've said, that sparks up a lot of defensiveness in you, there are other groups that you might be better suited for. Okay. I really don't want to give you the impression that you're not allowed to have freedom of speech in this. I absolutely recommend that you run the groups the way you think is best and the way that you enjoy, and you speak your mind and you share just as openly and transparently as anybody else. And you might even come up with new ideas that improve Brojo. We're definitely open to that. We're just talking like if any of the things that I've said, you feel really against the Brojo view of things, like you're the opposite, then you're probably not going to be right for this. And we'd be concerned that you would end up creating a chapter that doesn't line up with Brojo and kind of Brojo's flavor gets lost. Yeah. The next thing is the code of conduct. It's pretty simple. You treat other people with respect. You're kind and compassionate to the people in the groups. You try to be non-judgmental and inclusive. There is a range of people that come into Brojo. Some of them are psychologically unhealthy or damaged in some way, and they need love and support, and they need to be treated with deep respect because they need this group, because no one else in their life does this for them. And so it's important as the person who runs the group that not only that you role model that kind of compassion, but you challenge anybody who doesn't. If anybody in the group becomes judgmental or mean or nasty or bullying, we expect you don't have to solve this problem exactly, but we expect you to confront it and then to bring that to us as the Brojo coaching team, and we'll address that with anybody who's too difficult to deal with. But your role as ambassador, the group's going to need you to be the kind of the sheepdog of the group to make sure, because occasionally we get people who come in like they're not a good fit for Brojo. They just found something on Meetup and come in, or they come in with some weird, bitter, resentful agenda and they just want to sabotage the group. If someone like that comes in, it's your job to protect the others and to support the others if they're attacked by such a person. We don't ask that you become like the confrontation king, but we do ask if someone was really bad that you would ask them to leave the group, that kind of thing. We need you to be brave enough to do that. And our code of conduct is really about acceptance. Okay, everybody is welcome and everybody is free to be whoever they are. Anything prejudiced or bigoted or or just nasty needs to be attacked head on. It doesn't mean you have to attack the person, but you need to address any problematic behaviors. The other thing is, unless you are a qualified Brojo coach, there's no selling to our audience, no solicitation. Okay, so if you're part of anything where the Brojo members could be viable clients for you, you're going to have to just leave that at the door. Okay, Brojo is not a place for you to come and find clients for your own business. All right, we don't want any solicitation unless it's something that we've discussed, and we would set that up. We would do a workshop and everything. So no selling of anything, and also keeping an eye out for others who might be there for that reason. Unfortunately, that meetup tends to be a bit of a hunting ground for various multi-level marketing schemes and things like that, and people try and find vulnerable groups to prey on. If you catch anyone doing that, you need to bring it to our attention and address it. But if you can stick with that, then you'll be right by us, essentially, and with the code of conduct. In terms of the actual actions you need to take, the minimum we expect of an ambassador in exchange for the perks and privileges that you get with being an ambassador is that you are running at least one event per month, preferably more. Okay. Or you may share this with other ambassadors in your chapter, and that's fine, as long as the group of you works together to come up with at least one event for the members each month. And like I said, preferably more. Doesn't matter what type of event, as long as it brings people together and it's got some sort of flavor of either self-development or just connection with each other. Something that's good for them. From something as simple as just going to get pizza and a movie together, all the way through to like doing an obstacle course or going to a workshop together, or just sitting down, grabbing a coffee and a bite to eat and talking about your goals and issues. If everything I've said doesn't put you off the roll, which is kind of the point of this video, to put off anyone who's not a good fit. If you're looking forward to it, it sounds like it lines up with what you thought it was going to be and what you want it to be. You're keen to develop those leadership and responsibility kind of values, and to continue with this. Then the next step is to tell us, yes, you're definitely keen. You've watched the whole video and you're up for it. In which case, it'll be time for you to do the training course. It's about 1 week of emails, and it's really important you watch all of those videos all the way through and save them somewhere, because they're going to help guide you on everything from setting up events to running them to managing the logistics. And you'll be part of our leadership mentorship program, which at this stage is monthly webinars hosted by myself and other coaches, in which case we'll help train you to become better and better at group facilitation, to deal with the various challenges that come up, to become more confident speakers, and any of your own personal issues that come up as a result of the challenge of running a group and flexing your leadership muscles will help you develop those skills. Thank you for taking the time to check this out, and thank you in advance for helping us grow Brojo. It's Mike and I, our dream was to have this thing go global and to have a place where guys all over the world could go and talk about the real shit that they want to talk about, that none of their family or friends will talk to them about, and in doing so help them develop their confidence, their masculinity, their connections with other people, particularly their authenticity, their integrity, their honesty, and by you becoming an ambassador, you help us achieve that dream, and we are so grateful for that, because we just can't do it on our own. That's it. Hope to see you at a meetup or online in the near future. If it turns out this wasn't for you, thank you for watching anyway, and hopefully you can find the thing you're looking for. And I'll see you all guys soon. Cheers.